Well, hello. I have a surprise for you. Oh, wrong way. That's my surprise.
Hello, everybody.
Mary's doing what Mary likes to do. She likes to organize. And so she's back there playing with my shelves while I'm working on a quilt tonight. So I decided I'm going to work on a 3-yard quilt. And the one I'm going to work on is called Dreamweaver. But before I get into it, I want to give you some tips and tricks for working with 3-yard quilts. I've had this question come through my email a few times. 3-yard quilts can be they're very simple once you figure out what they're telling you how to do or what to do. But understanding it, I don't know about you, but for me, understanding what they're trying to say is a bit confusing sometimes. And so I feel like I have to spend a good amount of time just reading and rereading the pattern to really comprehend what they're asking you to do. It's super simple. And once you get the technique down, you can knock them out. It's one of those things where when you get a 3-yard quilt pattern, the first time you make it, it's a little confusing, a little difficult. But then after that, they just start getting knocked out really fast because you know the technique. Isn't that right, Mary?
That's right. I've miscut mine a couple of times.
Mary says she's miscut hers a couple of times, but that's one of the things that I do love about 3-yard quilts. You kind of get it down to this root memory learning where you're just like, okay, muscle memory now. It just becomes super, super quick. And the Dreamweaver one is a lot of fun. It looks really easy. It's all straight line piecing. There's no half square triangle units. There's no curved piecing. So this is something that a beginner could totally, totally do. Before we start talking about those tips and tricks and I show you the project sheet, I want to jump into the chat and say hi to a few folks. I see we've got our channel supporters here and they are popping off in the chat. We've got Pat Strawhouse, Lori from Vegas, Gloria, Norma. I see Melody and I saw Pat already, but there are lots of non-channel members here as well. I want to give Free Spirit a shout out. Meg Casaban is here. She says, good evening, everyone from Vermont. Lots of folks saying howdy doody. Gamma Tomato, Kamado 3 says, I need to take some time to figure out how to get my name back on here. Okie dokie. Michelle the Quilter is saying hello from a rainy central New York. Folks are mentioning that they really like the music at the beginning of the live stream. And it looks like Ian is even here as well. So hello, Ian. Oh, WPA Kathy is here. So is Stacy M. Baker and Deb Till. Okay. I think I've said hi to enough people. We're going to get to sewing because you don't want me to sit here for 2 hours just saying hi to everyone. Although maybe that would be a fun live stream where I do nothing but just say hi and read off all the names in the chat. You probably wouldn't tune in for that, would you? All right, let's go to the overhead computer. Let's go to the overhead computer. No, let's go to the overhead camera. So first thing I want to show you is the pattern that I had pulled. I had printed off a couple of patterns to do. This was one of them, and I was going to do it because I kind of liked the way the blocks looked a little broken up and kind of had like this almost disappearing type of look, and kind of in the middle it kind of looks a little bit like a card trick. Do you see how these kind of overlap? But then I zoomed out a little bit and I looked at this. Do you see the black? Do you see the red? No? Let me bring you in closer. Do you see it now? Do you see it? Now, listen, I'm not going to say what that reminds me of, but I'm sure you saw it. And for that reason, I'm not making this quilt. So I chose a different pattern. I chose Dream Weaver. This is from the Quick as a Wink book by 3 Yard Quilts. We'll go back to that overhead camera. This is what we're going to be putting together. And so I've got it folded so you can't see the instructions. Again, this is not my pattern. It's not a free pattern. So I just don't want to violate any copyright laws by showing you that information. So this is what we have to put together. Off of the instructions, there's a sheet of instructions here. So the nice thing about your 3 Yard Quilts is when you get the book, all of your patterns are 2 pages only. So I have all of them as a downloadable book. And so when I'm ready to print one, I can print it 2-sided and it's just one sheet of paper and I can get to work on it. Let's talk about some tips and tricks for 3 Yard Quilts, because if you're like me, it can be a little confusing the first time through. So the first thing that I learned is when I'm cutting, the cutting instructions will tell you what the fabric is going to be used for. So it always breaks it down into fabric 1, fabric 2, and fabric 3. And then from each of those fabrics, it tells you what to cut. And then it kind of tells you what it can be labeled as. And so as I'm cutting, you'll see here in the overhead camera, I put a little sticker on here that tells me what that fabric is for. And I actually do it on every single cut. That way, if they ever get mixed up or discarded somewhere, they're all right there. And I try to keep them clipped and together. So my border 1 fabric is done. My border number 2 fabric is done. And then the other thing that you do is as you're cutting these out, most times 3 Yard Quilts will have you build out strip sets. That's how they get these quilts going super quickly. So I like to build out my strip sets as I go, and then I label it what that strip set is. I find a lot of times when I'm working with 3 Yard Quilts, you only have that color diagram of the quilt on the first page right here. But if I were to flip over to the back, and I'm just going to flash it really quick, boom, it's all black and white. It's all black and white. And so it's really hard for you to remember, oh, okay, which fabric was going to be the dark blue, which one was going to be the light blue, which one was going to be the white. It's hard to kind of gauge all of that. And so I label the fabrics with, this was for strip set A, this was for strip set B, and then I move into the strip piecing to make those pieces. And then once those strip sets are built out, they each have a label on it. So I have 2 strip set A's and 1 strip set B. Now, because we always work with strip sets in 3 Yard Quilts, I know that my next step is going to be to subcut all of these down and call them Unit A, if they came from strip set A, or Unit B if it came from strip set B. And so that's kind of where we're going to pick up tonight. I built all of my strip sets. I can walk you through what they look like if you'd like. My strip set A is going to have 2 fabrics. It has the smaller one up here and then a really long one down here. And then my strip set B is just these 2 fabrics alternated, just like that. So yeah, there's that. I do see a few folks in the chat that are saying, yep, we saw what you were talking about. Good decision. Joan says, I love the material. It's very pretty. Yeah, so this material has a fun story behind it. When I was driving back up from retreat with this lovely lady behind me, we stopped at Heavenly Stitches in Kingsport, Tennessee, and they have up by their register, up by the cutting station, they have this like little paper bin, and any remnant pieces that come off of bolts that they don't sell, they kind of toss in there. And they like, if it's a yard or a little bit more than a yard, they like to bundle them up into 3 fabric bundles to make a 3 Yard quilt type of bundle. And there were a number of 1 yard cuts. Maybe some of them were a little over a yard. There were a number of yard-ish pieces over there, and I saw these 3 fabrics, and I was like, you know what? Is it too early to buy those? And they were super, super nice and said, no, absolutely not. You can. And so they let me pick out the 3 fabrics that I wanted, and they averaged it at about a yard-ish and charged me for 3 yards of fabric, and there we go. Folks are saying, I didn't see it. What is it? So this is the pattern that I am working with. It is called Dream Weaver. It is out of the Quick as a Wink 3-yard quilt book by Fabric Cafe. Becky Henning says, OMG, she's even dusting the shelves. Way to go, Mary.
I'm a full service.
This makes her feel loved. Okay, the next thing that I do is once I've got all of my strip sets pieced, I look at the instructions and I try to call out and help jump out at my brain what my subcutting is going to look like. And so for this, I've highlighted how many pieces and what size I need to cut out of each of my strip sets so that it just jumps right out at me. That is also on the back side of this. They've got illustrations that kind of show you what you're going to be putting together, but it's in black and white and it doesn't match the color layout of the quilt image in the book. Listen, if I had one tip to give to Fabric Cafe, it would be just spend the money to illustrate the diagrams in black and white, because this is already, in color. The page is already in color because the steps have blue ink. I don't understand why we couldn't just use this. I'll show you again. I don't understand why we couldn't use these swatches to represent it on the illustrations on the back to make it a little bit easier to read. I think that would make my brain work a little bit better. But like I said, they're fun projects and they are super, super, super quick to put together. So I have picked up from having all of my strip sets pieced. So we are going to start with our sub cutting. So I'm going to start with my strip set A. I need to cut 15 of these units. So, excuse me. This is how I'm going to handle my cutting. I'm going to open up my strip set. And because I am cutting here at a smaller surface and not at my big cutting mat, I'm going to have to fold this in half, just gently lay it over top of each other like this. This is going to let me use my normal cut ruler to do my sub cutting, which is an 8.5 by 12 inch ruler. And it's going to let me use this smaller cutting mat. So I'm going to look for a couple of things here. I'm going to make sure that one, my raw edges up here are parallel to each other. I don't want them right on top of each other because if one is starting to go a little different direction, I could miss it. So I'm looking to have the bottom and then the top, and I want those raw edges to be parallel to each other. And then I'm going to make sure that this is nice and flat and nice and smooth, and then I'll bring in my ruler and we'll do our sub cutting. But before we do, somebody is asking in the chat, what did you use to make your stickers? I used this Nimbot label printer. It connects to my phone and I can print off images and all sorts of things, and they all come on this size of a sticker. And so it's just laser printed. It's kind of like one of those tonerless printers. And so I just print it off from this and it works out really well. Okay, let's get to our sub cutting. I want to show you, thank you, Joey. She said that fabric is so pretty. I want to show you how I'm going to sub cut this. So I know what the measurement's going to be. I'm going to try to not say it out loud. But when I'm cutting this, I'm going to find the measurement on my ruler that I need to cut my strip set at. And once I have it there, I'm going to make sure that it's over to the right of the selvage a little bit, because remember, my selvages are on here. I made these as strip sets. And then I'm going to look for two kind of reference points. The first one right here, this is the seam in between the two different fabrics. I want to make sure that the line that's on my ruler lines up directly on top of that seam. And then the second reference point that I'm going to look at is right down here on the fold. I want to make sure that one of the lines on my ruler stays right on that fold. And if that's the case, and I might even want to check up here as well. If that's the case, then I know I'm not going to get any of those weird elbow joints when I cut this. It's going to be a nice straight piece. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to slice right through this. And I'll pull this away. Now, because this is my first cut, I'm going to pick this up very gently and flip it over, leaving that nice clean cut edge on the left. And I'll take the size that I'm cutting these at and put it right on that cut edge. And I'm again going to make sure that this fold is on one of the lines of my ruler and it's up there as well. And then if all of that is true, I'll slice through and cut off my salvages. And now I've got number 1 of 15 of these strip sets. So I'm going to set that aside and I'm just going to get to work cutting. What size ruler did you say, Cookie Grandma said? I am using an 8.5 by 12 inch ruler from Quilter Select. It is my favorite ruler. It is a go-to. I remember I was at Stitch in Heaven when I bought this fabric, ironically, and there was a lady walking around the shop. They had just started like the all Appalachian shop hop or something. I don't know. Tennessee was doing their shop hop. And so she was with somebody else that I don't think was a quilter. And she was just kind of looking at all the fabric and all the notions. And she had picked up this exact ruler, the 8.5 inch by 12 inch ruler from Stitch in Heaven, or Heavenly Stitches. I'm saying Stitch in Heaven and I mean Heavenly Stitches. You guys know what I meant. So she had picked up this ruler and was carrying it, and she came up and asked the ladies at the cutting station while they were cutting my fabric if the ruler was any good and if they would recommend it. And they were like, oh yeah, because they use it for cutting too, for cutting yardage. And I was like, listen, I have that exact ruler at home. If you can only afford to buy one ruler, that's the one that you want, because it's not, the fabric is not going to slip under it. And with this size of a ruler, an 8.5 by 12, you can make every cut just about, including squaring up some blocks. You almost don't need anything else. Are they useful? Sure. Do you need them? Not really. Mary, what's your go-to size for rulers?
I have one.
Well, right, but what's the one that if you were to only use one?
The 6 by 12.
6 by 12 is your go-to if you could only use one?
Yep. Yep. Probably the 6 by 24, because the 6 by 24 I could actually square up my quilt. So
Why can't you do that with the 6 by 12? She said she likes the 6 by 24 because she could square up her quilt. I could square it up with a 6 by 12. Why can't you do it with the 24?
Up the sides. Too many.
Oh, is it because you get a longer, more continuous
Yes,
cut?
exactly.
Oh, okay.
Exactly.
Gotcha. Will someone please enlighten me on the first pattern that received an obvious no-go? I hate being out of the loop. Okay, I'm going to bring it in. I don't want to say it, but somebody could type it. Look at, do you see it? Don't look at the center. Look at the whole thing. Look at the black. It's giving 1930s Germany. I'll say that. And it's so funny too, because I saw it, but I wonder, like Sandra said, I didn't see it. I don't understand. I wonder how many other people are out there like, no, I never saw that. I never thought to look for it. But unfortunately, it's one of those things where now that it's been pointed out to you, you probably will never not see it. Kathy went, oh.
Now you see it, now you don't.
Holly says her favorite ruler is a 4x14 Olfa. That is her go-to size. That sounds like a good size too. Some of you might be wondering, why am I taking 2 cuts every time I make one of these? That's because each time I'm taking a subcut, if you haven't noticed, I am taking the time to make sure that my ruler is straight right here and it's straight down here, which means that sometimes this might be off a little bit. And so I'm coming over just a hair from the edge when I'm taking a cut. And that does unfortunately mean that once I've cut this off, I need to flip it over and trim it up just a little bit. Donna says, oh my, I didn't even see it, but now I do. Yeah, it's one of those things where once somebody tells you what they see, you're never going to unsee it. And listen, like, I wonder if Donna and I don't know her granddaughter's name or her daughter's name, but I wonder if they saw it. Like, how did that get through all of the things and nobody caught it? Donna and Fran. How did Donna and Fran get it through all of the things and nobody caught it? I've got a stack and whack. It's got them all over it. Oh no! Do you know the name of the collection your fabric is from? It's from 3 different collections. I know this is from Dainty Meadow by My So Quilty Life. This was Mint something. I don't know. It's not the same designer. And then the stripe is from somebody else. I don't know what it is. They were literally remnant pieces just kind of hanging out. And I've already cut things up. So getting it from the salvage might be a little difficult. But I can tell you this pretty floral is Dainty Meadow from My So Quilty Life. I need to do a better job of that when I'm working with fabric, just noting what the fabric is if I have it, because somebody always asks. And that's part of the fun is, like, if you see something and you're inspired by that fabric, you want to run out and grab some. I know I do. So being able to go find it is probably pretty helpful. All right, this piece I could save as a scrap if I wanted to. I'm not going to. I'm going to set it aside in my trash bin. But if you are super protective of your fabric, that could be one that you set aside and put in a future project somewhere, somehow. I don't know. All right, I'm going to count how many I was able to get out of that one strip set. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that means I only need 6 more from this second set. Stephanie Fulton says, my favorite ruler is also Quilter Select, but then again, Mary and I are from the same generation. All right, so for those of you who missed it the first time, how I'm cutting these, I am folding it in half just slightly, making sure that my 2 raw edges up here are lined up. And then I'm just kind of patting it nice and flat. I'm bringing in my ruler and I'm putting a mark for one of the lines from the ruler on this seam, on the bottom fold, and I'm making sure it's on the top 2 raw edges. And if all of those are straight, then I'm going to cut with confidence. I'll pull this away and then I'm going to flip it over and trim. Uh-oh. I think that one wasn't, nope, it was good. Okay, so that's 1. I need 5 more. just like this. Oh, my nose itches. Eee.
Nice coming to see ya.
Is that what that means?
That's what it means.
It doesn't mean I'm going to come into a big pile of money?
Nope. Your hand pictures.
Oh. What's the one for You're Gonna Kiss a Fool? I've heard that one too.
I don't know that one.
Rose Anderson says she likes So Yaz rulers because they are non-slip also. I've tried So Yaz rulers and they are just as good in my opinion as the Quilter Select. I like the visibility of the Quilter Select a little bit better unless they've changed the color because they're kind of like this orangey color unless they've changed the color. I like the yellow from Quilter Select better, but the grip that they use is just as good.
Quilter Select now has the clear rulers too.
Ooh, the clear rulers, Mary said. Quilter Select. Mary said, they can't hear you, so I got to repeat.
I was trying to speak louder.
It won't work. Mary said that Quilter Select now has the clear rulers as well. I wonder if that mic is charged up enough now. We couldn't find my second mic before the live, here, we're going to try it, before the live stream started. Just don't put it close to you. Put it like on your belly or something.
Okay.
Because everybody will hear you breathing and then they'll be like, is Mary okay? Actually, you could probably just set it on the shelf.
Sit on the shelf.
Yeah,
That works.
you talk loud enough that it'll
I
pick
know.
you up. I talk loud too. It's fine.
I talk loud because I have a hearing deficit.
Hey, listen, you got to do what you got to do, girl. Melody says, my nails look pretty. Thank you.
I thought so too.
M. Smith says she just bought one of the clear Quilter Select rulers and she loves it.
Cool.
Okay. Ooh.
We saw Quilter Select rulers for the first time at Atlanta QuiltCon.
Yep.
And all they had to do was demonstrate, and oh my gosh, I had just upgraded all of my rulers from OFA, or no, was it OFA? Yeah, OFA to
Creative Grids.
to the Creative Grids, and I ended up selling all my Creative Grids and getting this Quilter Select because I like the Quilter Select. They sold me.
Okay, two more. I was counting to see how many I had. I remember years ago, a quilter friend of mine had heard about Quilter Select rulers, but she knew that only certain places sold them. And so she wanted to go to a quilt shop to try it out before she bought it. And so she drove all the way to a store that had a Quilter Select ruler and she tried it and she came home and she told me that she didn't really like it. She was like, it's no different than Creative Grids. And so for years I was like, oh, well, they're just, people keep talking about them, but they're not that great. They're no different. And so I never bought one. And then I went to QuiltCon in Atlanta and they showed it to me and I went, oh my goodness.
Game changer.
They are different than Creative Grids. They are way different than Creative Grids. So, and maybe this person didn't get to take it out of the packaging and they just looked at the marking. But what sells you is the non-slip. And by the way, did you know this? Maybe you didn't. But all Quilter Select rulers are made for right-handed and left-handed. So if you look really close at this, the measurements start from the right hand, the black dots, so it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But then it starts from the left with the boxes that are transparent. It goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if you're right-handed or left-handed, you can use the same ruler. Quilter7939 says, hello, Becca. I'm new to your group, but I'm an avid quilter who wants to get to know your group. I've signed up for New Zealand, so I'm trying to get familiar before then. Hey, where do you live? You're going on the New Zealand cruise? That's going to be great. I'm so excited. By the way, I mentioned that last week. It would behoove me to mention it again since we've got someone in the chat talking about it, especially. This is Scrap, by the way, Mary.
Oh, thanks.
The Alaska cruise is like 50-ish days away. I can't believe that. So close. And it is so sold out. There's no boat, there's no seats left. But there is a cruise that we're doing if you can get past the long flight. Because I'm going to be honest with you, it's a long flight. There is a cruise that I'm going to co-host with Ian, the Off-Kilter Crafter, and Chris from Rose City Originals in November 2027. We're going to do a 10-night cruise leaving out of Sydney, Australia, and going up to New Zealand. We will arrive in Auckland, New Zealand, and I am really looking forward to that. All right, so these are the 15 pieces that I needed from strip set A. They're going to be called Unit A. I don't need to print out a new label for these because I can just keep calling them strip set A. So I'm going to reuse the sticker that I had on the strip sets. I'm going to put it on the top one, and then I'm just going to come in and grab a Wonder Clip and clip all these together so everything stays together. And then we're going to move over to strip set B, which is going to be a little bit more difficult to cut because it's super long. Marjane, Quilter979 says her name is Marjane. I will probably not remember that, but feel free to remind me in the future. All right. So I'm cutting this at a small work surface, which means I need a ruler that's going to be able to go through all of this. Could I get up and go get my 24-inch ruler? Absolutely. Will I? Probably not, because my mat isn't even that big. Could I open this up to be 24 inches? Yep, because it's the flip and fold. But not everybody has the ability to cut on a 24 by 36 inch mat. Not everybody has the ability to stand at a super big cutting station. I'm talking about my friends out there who are wheelchair bound or just have issues standing for long periods of time. And so I feel like demonstrating doing this craft sitting down so that you can see everything I'm doing is always helpful for those that can't stand or don't have a lot of space. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm going to do this the same way I did with the other one. We're just going to make sure that these top two edges are running parallel to each other. I've got it laid nice and flat, and then we're going to make sure we're taking a measurement, a registration mark here, 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 and up here to help make sure it's nice and straight. And these pieces, I'm just going to double check my measurement. Yep. Okay, these pieces we're going to cut. I'm going to have to make this just a little bit better. Like if I had a 12.5 ruler, this one would be great. Yep, right there. So what I'm going to do to make up that little 1/2 inch difference, it's a little finicky, but I'm going to grab a second ruler and I'm just going to put it right up here, and I'm going to make sure that that's nice and flush. I'm going to hold it together, make sure all my registration marks are good, and then I'll slice through, making sure that I'm putting pressure on both rulers, and then I'll pull that away. If it doesn't pull cleanly, I'll go in and clip the threads where it's still holding on for dear life, and then I'll flip this over. And I could, if I wanted to, use my cutting mat for this measurement, but I really like using my rulers for cutting measurements. There's no right way, there's no wrong way. You do what works best for you. This is what I prefer to do. Okay, so this is going to be B. I need 8 of these all together, so we're going to do that 7 more times. Ooh, Brenda says, I am on an Alaska cruise now with my husband. We are 73 years old and experienced no difficulties. Awesome. That's great to hear. I hope you enjoy your cruise, Brenda. Which cruise line are you sailing on? I'd love to know. Debbie says, I have ALS and can only stand for a little while, and I do my fabric the same way you do when I sit. Thank you, Becca, for thinking of us. You're welcome. I'll also be honest with you. It's nice to learn how to do this stuff sitting down, because sometimes standing for hours on end is not comfortable.
Can't do it.
No. Well, I didn't used to be able to do it, Mary. And so I kind of learned to do it sitting down because I knew it was going to be painful to stand for long periods of time, so I didn't want to.
Yeah.
Christina's asking, what kind of rotary cutter are you using? I am using the Martelli ergonomic rotary cutter. It is my go-to. I love this thing. By the way, I do have on my website a page with all of the products that I use repetitively in my sewing room with links to where you can get them. They are affiliate links, so they do help me out if you choose to purchase. I would love it if you would consider using those links. It'll help financially support the channel just a little bit. It doesn't cost you anything, but I earn a small commission from your sale. All right, that's number 3, so we need 5 more. Joyce is telling you, hello, Mary.
Hello.
People are excited to see you.
This is my last weekend here.
I know,
To
I'm
go
so
home
sad.
for a little while.
But you'll be home, you'll be back here in about 6 weeks.
Yep.
Are you going to go to that quilt show beforehand?
Yes, I'm probably going to come here straight after the Asheville Quilt Show.
So Mary is going to meet up with some friends in Asheville, North Carolina to go to the quilt show in Asheville. Do you guys know what day you're going?
They haven't made the plans yet, so
Okay.
I don't know. But it's like the 13th, the 15th through the 17th, I think is what it is.
Yeah, you're not going for all 3 days though.
Well, the girls are talking about going for all 3 days, but I'm going, probably going to go that Friday night.
After work?
Yeah, because I have to work on Friday, and I can't take any more time off. Yeah,
Especially since you'll be taking the time off for the cruise just like in
Exactly.
next week.
exactly.
They are on the Princess Cruise, Grand Princess Off the Beaten Path.
Oh.
Never been on a Princess Cruise. I've heard they're
I've never
lovely.
been on Princess. I've been in Carnival.
I've been on Carnival. That was like a party ship.
Yeah, Celebrity, the Norwegian cruise lines.
1,
And
2,
then there was another one. I can't
3,
remember the name of it. It was
4,
a ship one that
5,
I never heard
6,
of
2
before.
more. Oh,
And,
really?
Yeah, and it was awesome. We got a suite at that one, and got VIP treatment the entire time we were there because there was 3 of us in the room.
Listen, I want a suite.
Uh-huh.
However, I'm not paying the suite price.
I know. It's ridiculous.
I'll settle for a balcony, thanks.
Somebody on the Facebook page today was asking, should she pay to get the balcony and pay the extra $2,000,
Oof.
or should she save that $2,000 for excursions?
I would save it for
I would save
excursions.
it for excursions.
Yeah, there's plenty of places to look at the scenery from the boat. Inside cabin is going to save you a bit of money. It's not, I mean,
depressing,
all the rooms are small. I do think the balcony rooms or the veranda rooms have a little bit more space and you can spread out just a little bit more. But honestly, if you're going on a cruise to Alaska or really anywhere, you're only in that room to sleep, right? Like to sleep, use the restroom, take a shower, freshen up, maybe to take a small rest. There's so many places on a cruise ship where you can go and just veg out and relax. It doesn't have to be your cabin. And there are places where you can do that away from people too. So, yeah, like just treat your room as like a bed. If you want to save some money, there's nothing wrong with getting a cheap room on a cruise ship. You still get all of the same stuff that everybody else gets.
My husband and I, the very first cruise we went on, it was a gift from my brother because he had won it and had in December at a Christmas party. He works for Costco, and he had won it, and he knew I wanted to go on a cruise, so he gave the cruise to me and Bill. We had had a particularly bad year that year because of some family issues, and we ended up getting the last suite on the ship, and it was a inside cabin. He wanted to stay in the room the entire time.
Nope.
Except for when we were in port, and I was like, that's so depressing.
It is. It is. All right, this is scrap 2, Mary, whenever you're ready.
Okay.
I have got all of my strip sets sub-cut, and now we're going to start putting them together, but the instructions are telling me that I need to do something a little different. So I'm going to bring out my strip set A and my strip set B. I've got these squares that I cut off of 2 of my fabrics that are labeled as Unit C and Unit D. And if I'm looking at the diagram on the back side of this is saying for strip set A, I need to take 5 of these and 5 Unit Cs and attach them at the top. So not all of them are going to get this treatment, just some of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I'll put my clip back on here. I'm going to take this over to the sewing machine, and I'm going to sew this small square of Unit C right here next to whatever that fabric is. I am going to chain stitch, and what that means is I'm going to line up my fabric. I'm going to stitch through the first one, and then I'm not going to break my thread. I'm just going to sew right on to the next one. Oh gosh, I think this quilt is going to look so cute. Yeah. I like these because once you, like I said, once you understand what it is they're trying to tell you to do, the projects are super easy and they do go together really quickly. In fact, I think I'll have this quilt top finished before the live stream ends tonight. What do you think, Mary?
I think so too. I did 2 of them. Other than making the mistake with cutting the fabrics wrong, it did go together relatively easy, and I loved it. It sold me on the 3-yard quilt pattern.
All right, all of these are cut. I do have a little pile of cut off HSTs clippings from my stitch and flips, and I've just been laying them out so that the pieces are lined up like this. So when I need a leader and ender, I feed this into my machine, and so as a result I end up with a whole pile of pre-sewn half square triangle units that just need to be pressed and sized up. A lot of times I end up giving those away, but I always tell myself that I'm going to do something with them one time, and maybe one time I will.
I'm gonna hold you to that.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. I have more important things to do.
Okay.
All right, before I move too far down the road, I'm going to go ahead and press these. For this, I'm just pressing everything underneath the blue. The instructions might tell me somewhere a different way to press, but I'm choosing to press underneath the blue because this blue is the darker of the 2 fabrics. So I finger pressed it first, and then I'm going to lay it on my pressing mat while I'm waiting for my iron to heat up. So to finger press, what I'm doing is laying this down so it's closed, holding that seam there and opening it up. I'm putting the fabric that I want the seam to press towards on top. And then I just crease it with my fingernail. What is the pattern name? This is Dreamweaver. It can be found in the Quick as a Wink book from Fabric Cafe. It's a 3-yard quilt. Shelly says, I just picked up my black 301A last weekend in Kentucky, and I have named her Miss Mamie.
Oh, I like that. Miss Mamie.
All right, so once I have that done, I should have 5 units that look like that. I probably didn't need to use my heat to press this. I'm just a stickler for getting my fabric as flat as I can before moving on to the next step. Even though finger pressing probably makes it flat-ish enough to work with, a lot of times I end up going back to the heat and sometimes even starch to really make that be super crisp before I move on to the next step. All right, so these are all the pieces that have that Unit C attached. So I'm just going to stack them up on top of each other. I'll put a clip on them, and I'm going to take that Unit C sticker and put it back on here to help keep myself organized. Organization with this project goes a long way. All right, so that's Unit C. Now it's saying for Unit B, I need to take 4 of these units and Unit D and sew them onto the opposite end here. So we're going to take 1, 2, 3, 4. We don't want the same fabric touching. Let me just make sure. Okay, that's strip set B. No, we'll just leave it. So I don't want to put it here because that's the same fabric. I want to put it at the end. Now, here's my dilemma. I want to make sure that my stripes are all going in the same direction. It might be a little bit hard to see. I think it's a little washed out, but it is straight fabric. So I'm going to make sure that when I sew it, the stripes are going in the same direction so I don't have a few that are going off in different directions. I think that would just look a little weird. So it'll go here, and I'm just going to chain stitch all of these together like I did with the last set. Bring in the next one, lay it out, make sure my stripes are going the same way. See, they almost weren't. AK Quilter says, glad I am not the only one who has troubles with those written instructions, and add to that issue, I like to make the quilts a little larger, so I have to keep track of the number of pieces, etc. Yes, they do have instructions on each of their patterns for how to make the quilts a bit larger, but usually the instruction, well, not usually, the instructions in the book are always for a throw size. That's how they can get away with making the quilt with just 3 yards of fabric. But they do usually include instructions for how to make the same quilt in a twin size or a queen size or, gosh, maybe even a king. So you can just keep following that technique, but you'll want to follow the cutting instructions for the bigger piece or the bigger size. All right, I'll grab another little HST to stitch. Clip that off, and then I have an HST at the start of this one that I'll clip off and put in my finished pile. And then we'll just clip these pieces apart and we'll give them a good press too. Yeah, I'm looking at the pattern right now. It has instructions for the quilt pattern itself is for the lap size, the throw size, but then it has a twin topper that will measure at 64 by 80, and then a queen/king topper that measures at 101 by 101. And then you can go to the link that they put in the pattern for diagrams for those larger sizes. So you don't have to only make the small quilts. You can make them bigger, and they've done the math for you. All right. These are the row B's. So they start and end with the same fabric. I have 4 of those. Now, let me look and see what the instructions say to do next. All right. Referring to the quilt top assembly diagram, alternate row A and row B. Okay, let me back up. I'm going to look at step 2. It says, referring to the row assembly A diagram, using 3 unit A's, sew them together end to end, using 1 unit C to sew the top of row A. Okay, hold on. How many? You're supposed to have 5 altogether? Okay, so this is what we're doing. We have 5 here, and then we're going to attach these to the bottom of that. And I think we're going to put another one. So these should be 10 here. We'll take that, and we'll just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're just going to sew a piece onto the end of this, and then we'll push that over and sew this stack onto the end of that. So we'll set these aside for now. This will be called strip A when it's all done. We're going to end up with 5 of those. So let's get sewing. I'll take my clips off and put those away. Line this up over here. And then we'll start stitching. Move this out of the way. All right, we're always going to start, we're always going to put this one at the top. We're making sure that when we're joining these, we're not having the two of the same fabrics touching. It's always alternating. We're building this out in columns. So when we put these together, we're actually not going to sew horizontal rows. We're going to sew vertical rows together. So what we're doing right now is building those vertical rows, and then once they're all done, we'll have X number of vertical row A and X number of vertical row B, and then we're just going to alternate putting them together. One of the things that I like about chain stitching is when I get to the end of something, I can clip off all of the pieces that had come off of the machine, and I can start attaching to these without having to use another leader and ender. Just allows me to kind of speed up the process a little bit. So I don't need to worry about pressing this before I attach because I'm not sewing on this edge. So I'm just going to bring in my next piece, and we're going to attach it down here at the end, making sure that this blue is touching up against that. Hello, Liz. She says hi to everybody.
Hello, Liz.
And then once I sew onto the first one, I like to clip off the one that was there and put it in the pile so it gets the same treatment as everything else. Make sure that when you're doing this, if you're following along with me, you're always putting the square next to the rectangle of the opposite fabric. You don't want to attach it up here where you just have a square. You want it to be next to the rectangles. Square to rectangle, square to rectangle. Next week on our live stream, I don't know what I'm going to make, but I can tell you it will be with some 10-inch squares. I'm not sure if I'm going to use scrap 10-inch squares or an actual layer cake. So you'll want to join me to see what I do when I put all that together. And hopefully I'll have some instructions that I can point you towards for a free project. And if you want to sew along with me, meet me back here next Friday night at 8 o'clock with a layer cake of your own. And I'll have a link in the video description for next week's live stream for whatever project I choose to do. It'll be there before the live stream next week. So if you want to print it out and sew along with me, you are welcome to do that. I am going to try to make it beginner friendly. I'll try to find something that's beginner friendly. And I'm going to try to make it something that I can start and finish in one live stream, or at least get a good bit of the way, and then have the quilt finished over the course of the weekend. So we're not talking about a long sew that we've got to break up over multiple weeks. It's just going to be one and done. All right, all of these are clipped off except for the one that's under the needle. So I'm going to grab another HST. I'll sew onto this piece. Come on. And then I'll clip. And now I'm going to take all these over to the iron and give them a nice press before we move on to the next step. Remember, it might not matter, but for me, I like to press them under the blue fabric. Hello, Shelly.
That's Shelley Clark.
I don't know.
Oh.
Okay. It's 2. Don't judge me. Yes, I'm really throwing these rows on the floor after I press them. My room. I get to do what I want with my fabric. It's not yours.
It's my room.
No, it's my room.
No, it's my room.
Mary likes to tell me this is her room. I just get to borrow it.
He who organizes the fabric keeps it.
You do not keep, no, negative, Ghost Rider. Nuh-uh. He who organizes the fabric keeps it. No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
I tried. I tried.
We don't have the same taste in fabric.
I don't. Well, that's not really true.
You know?
I just not a tulip pink person, but I like Bonnie and Camille and.
It's no longer Bonnie and Camille.
Oh, what? Oh, I like Camille Ross Kelly.
There you go. I do too.
And,
She's one of my
Cool
favorites.
Road.
I don't really care for coriander.
We don't care for coriander.
Not really. I don't know what it is. There's
And
something.
I like Lila Boutique.
I love Lella Boutique. Kathy said, "Well, she did organize it."
Thank you, Shelly or Kelly.
Oh no, Melody says, I kind of sort of lost my sojo and decided to just grab a layer cake and start cutting and stitching, and it feels so much better.
Aw. It's
Sometimes
hard
that's
when
all you got to
it's
do
hard
is
when
just
you
that
lose
quick
your
sew
sojo.
project. All right, so these are Unit A. I'm just going to loosely fold it in half. I'm not going to crease it. I just want to kind of fold it up a little bit so I can have it sit tidy on my desk while I move on to the next step. Chris Murphy is here from, I can't pronounce that, but South Australia. I couldn't pronounce the city. Sorry about that. Okay. Joy said, well, dang, I thought it was Mary's room.
It really is. Just don't tell Becca.
Sandra says, we still cannot hear Mary. Well,
Oh, sorry. I said, sure it is. Just don't tell Becca.
she's a little bit further away from the microphone
Yeah,
because she doesn't have it clipped to her shirt.
'cause I have
She's
problems.
working, and much like me, she breathes through her mouth, and so when she's concentrating, we both do the same thing. When she's concentrating, she can sometimes breathe a little bit heavy. You guys have pointed that out to us. So she's got the microphone sitting on a shelf near her to pick her up, but it won't be
It won't be
as
overly
loud.
and it won't
See,
disturb
Josh
anybody.
knows. Josh says, I firmly know this is your studio, Becca.
Josh, I used to like
You guys
you.
heard that, didn't you? Y'all heard that.
Josh.
All right, so now for these, I think we just attach them to this, making sure that we are not touching the same fabric. So we're just going to do that, and we're going to chain stitch to get all these together. And then all of my vertical columns are made, and it'll be time to sew the quilt together and then put on borders. You're asking... I just caught that Jonathan and Josh are calling each other twins. Oh, Becca Booze says whoever bought it keeps it.
Oh, crap. That doesn't work for me.
Josh said, Mary, prove me wrong by organizing my studio.
Fishing. Okay. Challenge accepted.
He's had some really funny reels on Instagram lately.
I know.
Did you see the one that he did about the Netflix documentary?
Yes.
Oh, it was hilarious. He's having a blast with those reels.
He's hilarious anyway.
Yeah, he is. He's a good guy. I like him. Oh no!
Oh no, what?
I lost bobbin chicken.
Oh crap.
Good thing I have several wound.
Uh-huh.
Oh no, I didn't. It just decided to.
Is this the same as this one? Goes with this one.
Yes, they're both
Yes,
from the
they're
same
both
line.
From the same line.
Mhm.
What I thought. Okay, I gotta roll them back again. I'm not a fan of the Tula, but some of it's not bad.
Not bad, she
Not
said.
bad.
Some of it's not,
Not
bad.
Life is like a box of chocolates.
Oh yeah, I love that movie. And then attach this one to this, and then we'll start sewing our columns together. think we start with the other one and then we add these. So I'll clip these off. I'll give them a little pressy,
Pressy, pressy, poo.
pressy, pressy, and then we'll start assembling. So this is the first column. This is the second column.
This is true colors. That's what this one is.
Have you guys heard about dirty sodas before? Is this a new thing for you too? Or is this like, am I the only one that's been out in the cold and didn't know about it? So for those of you that don't know what a dirty soda is, apparently this is now a thing. You go to a place where they serve fountain drinks and coffee, so like a Wawa or a Sheetz or a Buc-ee's or basically any place where you can get creamer and stuff. And so you kind of pour yourself a soda and then you put mix-ins in like syrup. The camera with Ruby is frozen. Okay, well, we'll check on that later. Thank you for letting me know. But yeah, so you put all these different mix-ins in to make it a different flavor. And I was like, what? Is this really a real thing? And so there's apparently one where you can make it taste like a root beer float. So you go get root beer and you add vanilla creamer to it, which kind of makes the root beer taste a little bit like it does when the ice cream has melted in it. The trick is you've got to get the right amount of creamer and the right flavor of creamer.
Just don't do it with the Diet Mountain Dew. Because it doesn't taste good.
Uh,
Does not taste. It messes up the taste of the Diet Mountain Dew.
I had her taste the root beer, the fake root beer float.
That one I can handle.
She
I
liked
love root
it,
beer
but
float.
then she drank Mountain Dew afterwards. She was like, "Ugh." All right. So these are my my strip set B. I really need to troubleshoot the cord for that. I don't know why the camera continues to freeze that way.
Is it? Do you think it's the cord?
Yeah, I do. Because it's not the camera, and it better not be the computer, because the computer's...
Sometimes it can be the internet, but
No, it hasn't. No, it's frozen on the computer.
Oh, gotcha.
Which means it's frozen on the video feed.
Gotcha.
All right, now we're going to start sewing them together. So we need to put... This is row A. So we're going to do this one first with the square up at the top. And then we'll bring in this one. And we should have these pieces kind of nesting together a little bit. I might end up twisting the seam around just to get those seams to line up a bit more. What I'm thinking, because I didn't follow the sewing or the pressing instructions in the pattern, big surprise. What I'm thinking is the pattern probably had me set for this unit, row B, pressing underneath this fabric instead of this one, because I am finding that that is what I am doing by hand right now as I'm putting these together. I'm just turning the seam. I don't mind doing that. It's only going to be for a few pieces because we're pretty much done. So what I'm doing now is just kind of going through, and everywhere where I have fabric that is got a seam where it's lined up next to each other, I'm just putting a pin through the seam so that those points are nice and nested. I'm not worrying about pinning the entire thing. I'm just pinning wherever I have seams that will nest. And that'll help keep my intersections nice and clean. Zaza's here. Hello.
Hi, Zaza.
Donna says we used to call them vanilla cokes.
Oh.
And people did say dirty sodas are more of a West Coast thing. They've been around for a long time. Yeah.
They've been introduced on the East Coast now because I've seen some of the soda distributors are making dirty sodas in bottle form.
Oh.
Yeah, because my sister kept telling me she wanted to try the Dirty Mountain Dew, so I bought one bottle of it.
Why do they call it dirty?
I don't know, because it had them. I don't know.
Do you call coffee with cream in it
Well, it's
dirty
like, why do
coffee?
you call a dirty martini a dirty martini? I don't get that.
Well, because it has extra olives in it, apparently,
Yeah,
according to Bill.
but that to me doesn't say dirty.
Listen, here's the thing. If putting creamer in it makes it dirty, then I'm just going to start calling my coffees dirty. I want a
Okay.
dirty coffee.
She wants a dirty coffee.
I want a dirty coffee. Ma'am, what is a dirty coffee? I don't know. You tell me. Apparently, dirty is a thing. I would like a dirty beverage.
Make it extra dirty.
Oh, Mary. Not cool. This-
Bill coming in.
This is where you tell Becca to get her mind out of the gutter.
Oh dear.
Dirty. Dirty Mountain Dew is gross.
It is gross. I agree. I took one drink of it and I threw the whole bottle away.
Oh, did you put creamer in it?
No, it was already like that.
Oh, you
I'm
bought
telling
it.
you that it's the distributors are making.
Oh, you
so they're
tried
in
a
the
dirty
bottle.
Mountain Dew.
Yeah, because my sister saw them and she didn't want to buy a whole six-pack of them.
Uh-huh.
She just wanted one. And so I was in Walmart one night and I saw them in there and I was like, oh, I can buy a single one. So I bought one for me and one for Linda. And we both threw them away after we took one sip. It was just the most disgusting thing I've ever tasted in my entire life.
Jeez. Zaza said dirty soda is because it apparently looks muddy after you mix the stuff in. Yeah, I could see that too. But coffee, I guess, looks muddy. I just think it looks like caramel.
Yeah. It could.
All right, there is my first 2 columns sewn together. Dirty chai is chai with coffee.
Oh, I love chai, but I don't like it in no coffee. I don't want no coffee in my chai.
All right, the next step is going to be to grab another one of these. We're just going to alternate the different rows. So since I've got these, I'm going to grab this one next. And we're going to make sure we start with the square at the top. And we're going to nest our seams and pin all the way down. This will help make sure that things stay nice and lined up and straight-ish. And because you're not really seeing anything in the overhead camera, I'll just go back to this view while I'm pinning and sewing the rows together.
Ooh. I wonder if I have any of this. This would be. Ooh. I was just thinking.
No.
No.
Mary's finding fabric she wants to take.
She gave me this fabric here.
They don't know what you're...
And I need this for a trim.
Give them. Let me see.
Huh?
Let me see the other one.
Did you see the other one? Don't you think it would make a
So
nice
Mary, this is an out of print fabric from Tula Pink. It is sewing machines and they look like Berninas. And there are 3 colors. There was a regular blue, kind of like a teal, and then the purple.
You got all 3 of them.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I have all 3 of them. Anyway, I bought her, she kept saying she wanted the sewing machine. She wanted the sewing machine. She wanted the purple sewing machine to make curtains for her sewing room. She wanted to make curtains from her, like valances for these. And I was like, Mary, she's like, Mary kept saying, I'm going to go look for it in the quilt shop. I was like, Mary, it's out of print. You're never going to find it. Mary, it's out of print. You're never going to find it. And she was like, well, I'm going to buy it. I was like, Mary, it's out of print. And that was a super popular line. So people are selling it for like $100 a yard.
I know.
Well, maybe more like 50 or something. And she just still kept saying, I'm not going to pay that price, but I want it. And so I found it on a D-Stash site for a ridiculous price. It was not normal yardage price. And I sent her 2 yards of it. And so now she's going through and just tidying up my fabric. And she says, oh, this goes well and could be a trim for my curtains. I need this fabric.
I need a trim. Because I'm not making just valances. Well, I'm making valances, but I'm going to like put like a strip of other fabric in it and then put the other part on the bottom too.
Listen,
Yeah, never mind.
Ask Mary if she's even started yet.
No, I haven't. I will. It's on my table in my sewing room. So I have at least pulled it out of my stash so that I can work on it. I just haven't worked on it yet. Because Mary's never home.
Listen, when Mary starts her curtains, we can talk about trim. But until you get those curtains started, I don't want to hear that you need more fabric.
Bummers.
Sew it together. Like you got.
Now you're just really you're doing a Josh on me, and he broke my heart because he didn't take my side.
Listen.
Now you're just like ripping me too, and I'm just like, ah!
This is not about collecting the fabric. It's about sewing with the fabric, Mary. We're not trying to collect it. We're trying to make things. Oh, gosh.
Mary has a job.
Becca has a job too. Becca has a job too.
I know, but it takes a lot of my time.
It takes a lot of my time too.
I know, and you have a job and a family.
But you know,
a YouTube channel.
I buy fabric that I say I'm going to do things with, and guess what?
You don't do
you're looking at it right now. It's on the shelves. So this is pot calling the kettle black.
Monkey see, monkey do.
Yeah. I like it when I go to a quilt shop and they're like, "Oh, what are you going to make with that?" And I say, "My stash bigger." No, I tell them my stash bigger. What are you doing with the fabric? Making my stash bigger.
I like that.
I have no shame in my game.
I love that.
What are you going to make with that? A bigger stash? Somebody should put that on a t-shirt.
I'm a fabric collector.
I think most of us are.
Collector.
I think most of us are at heart.
Ooh, this even goes with it. Look at that.
Oh, stop it. She's just sourcing her next project for my fabric.
At least I'm not like Alicia and I don't give it away.
Oh, that's true. But it doesn't matter where it goes. If it's not here, I can't enjoy it. Doesn't matter if you gave it to yourself.
It'll eventually come to me anyway. If you don't use it, if your taste changes, it'll come to you anyway.
Are you just waiting?
I'm just waiting.
Becca's gonna de-stash that one day. I just know it.
I'm just waiting.
Just waiting. Maybe this will be the visit. Hey, Mary, will you grab that tulip pink fabric off my shelf? It needs a good home.
But the bad thing is I don't even like tulip pink fabric.
You just like it because it has sewing notions. That's your
like
thing.
Because that one says the line is called homemade.
And it has sewing notions on it.
Sewing machine.
You just like sewing notion fabric. That's your jam.
Yeah, that is my jam.
That's
the first place I had to in a quilt shop.
I know it is. All right, now we're going to grab this one. And we will pin.
Ooh, I just forgot what this line is.
I want to say Little Beast.
Tabby Road.
Oh, Tabby Road. Okay, that's it.
Tabby Road. Need longer arms.
I'm sorry.
I do.
Would you like mine?
No, that's okay. You can keep your arms. Just give me your fabric.
My quilt project says that is one thing that I don't miss about Joann's. The question of what you making whenever you bought fabric. That pressure was real. It was. And I just like I got to the point I was like, these people don't really care. They don't want to know what I'm making. I think they're just trained to ask. So I'm just like, I'm just buying it to buy it. What?
They're just being nosy.
I think they're trying to make small talk, and that's how they did it.
They're trying to be customer service friendly. Go do it to somebody else, not me.
Zaza said, and my husband always asks, is that fabric for sewing or for petting?
All fabric is for petting. I love how it
soft fabric, warm fabric, little ball of cotton.
This is like my dream come true. Look at all this fabric on the shelf. It's all color coordinated and color order, and it's all like a gradient, you know.
I just, this Mary's world, I just live in it. Folks love your laugh. They're mentioning that Mary has the giggles.
It doesn't take much.
No, it doesn't. Smacking her hand away from the fabric starts it.
Simple strokes for simple folks.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm as simple as they come.
Oh, no, you're not. Stop putting yourself down. You guys, the other day she fell.
Oh dear.
She was walking hurriedly. She wasn't running. She was walking fast. And she tripped. There was nothing on the floor. She tripped over her own foot. I think the front of her shoe got caught on one of the cracks, like the very faint crack in wood planks on a wood floor.
Well, they got a hardwood floor, a natural hardwood floor, and it can be sticky with your rubber soles on your tennis shoes.
Again,
And
why I don't wear shoes.
I just stubbed my toe of my tennis shoe on the hardwood floor as I was walking, and forward I went on both knees, all fours.
You heard? No, you didn't go on all fours. You went flat.
I knocked the wind out of myself.
You just heard her shoe hit the floor. It went like boop, and then next thing you heard was her entire body just went floop, like floop. It wasn't like falling with her arms in front of her. She just flat down on her stomach.
I had to lay there for a minute because I couldn't breathe.
And I
knocked the wind out of myself. I'd never done that before.
We asked her if she was okay, and then we laughed. They said Ian is rubbing off on you.
He is.
Just
Oh, Lordy. No, I've always been clumsy. Ask me how I know. I have broken bones and fractured bones everywhere, so. And that's what worried me about falling the other night was I had an operation in my wrist, and I'm always afraid I'm going to hurt it. I'm going to make it worse and have to go back and have surgery, and that wasn't fun.
like the time where you broke your fingers and drove all the way up here.
All four of my fingers.
And still drove a U-Haul all the way up here.
Yep, I drove a U-Haul for 8 hours.
And then picked up stuff out of her mom's storage unit, put it in the U-Haul, drove it back, loaded it into her mom's new storage unit down there, and then went to see the doctor.
And then the lady comes out of the urgent care.
She's like, you broke all the fingers on your hands.
You need to go to a hand specialist because you've broken all 4 of your fingers. I said, what?
She was sitting here the whole weekend putting ice on it.
Oh my God.
I was like, Mary.
If Nicole hadn't been here, I would have been worse than
I kept telling her to go to urgent care. She's like, no, I'll be fine.
I had stuff to do.
Okay.
I had stuff to do.
I'll get medical care when I'm dead. Imagine you probably wouldn't have had to go to a hand specialist had you gone to the doctor right away.
The hand specialist, he says, put your fingers on the table. And he kept telling me to do that. You know, just like stand my fingers up like this on the table. And he goes, now lay them flat. And he was trying to see if my hand was going to lay flat. He goes, oh, you'll be okay. If you have any more troubles, you let me know. He's just keep the brace on for a while. And then if you have any more problems, come back and see me.
She makes it sound like it wasn't that big of a deal. She didn't need to go to the doctor at all.
Well, I wore a something, I can't remember what it was now. It was like a contraption on my hand for a while. And they still bother me every once in a while. It's like I'll get like a really bad pain in that hand sometimes. But oh well. It's just the life of Mary.
It's okay. Zaza said she broke her wrist the night before a Disney trip.
Oh.
She went to the ER when they got home from Disney.
Oh, I fell at Disney too.
She fell at Disney.
Like the first couple of days we were there.
She needed the scooter the rest of the time
Yeah.
because her knee was so messed up.
It still is. I'm getting cortisone shots in my knee now.
Ugh.
this. It runs in my family. My mother's a klutz too.
Uh-oh. I sense a problem here.
Uh-oh. Did you do something wrong?
Uh-huh, I sure did.
What did you do?
Okay, so because I just realized that going across, I have the same fabric going all the way across and I don't have that weaving technique happening. And so what needs to happen is every time I build in a unit A, I need to do one with the square at the top and then the next one needs to be the rectangle at the top. So I'm going to rip one seam out and flip that one around. I caught it before.
You got too far. That's good. It wouldn't have been good if you saw it afterwards. If you didn't really flip it.
I don't know where my seam ripper is, so I'm using my electric one.
It was right here.
Well, it's not right there right now, is it?
No, it's not.
I don't have to rip out two seams because I can repurpose this as the next one. I just need to put something in between there. So I'm going to unpin this. This is the one I'm going to sew.
I feel there's struggles in this room because things you lay it down and it disappears.
Right?
Yes. It just disappears.
That's why I like having one tool at each place.
Yeah. So you
Because
have them there.
right. And I must have picked it up and used it somewhere else where there's not a seam ripper. So I got to find where it is because that means I need to put a seam ripper there.
Yep.
The seam ripper that I just found is really dull. So I'm using this electric pet hair trimmer to just touch the thread as I'm pulling back the fabric, and it rips the seam out really quickly and it doesn't put any tension or stress on the other seams or the fabric. So I like this one. I've got to do some delicate seam ripping. This is a wall pet hair trimmer. I got it off Amazon for like $8 or something. Might not be $8 anymore, but it was when I bought it.
As soon as it becomes a quilting tool, the price goes up.
They actually sell this. Nifty Notions has the same thing,
Yep.
and it's marketed as a sewing notion, and it is not $8.
Nope. Price goes up and up and up.
Oh, well, that sucks. I think I might have just put. I think I might have accidentally nibbed the fabric because I got too close to it. But it's right on the seam, so I think it'll be okay. I'm going to put a pin where that is, though, just so I can look for it in case I decide I want to replace that. I do have some scrap. Hey Donna, hello. I hope Joe's doing better. Joe's in the hospital again, or was in the hospital last I saw. He's having issues with his lungs. Okay. You're okay. You're okay. All right, so let's do this the right way this time. This time we're going to grab this and put this one up at the top. There we go. And now we'll sew this all the way down. I'm going to pin it first. Becca, where in Alabama did you go on retreat? I live in Alabama and haven't heard of any here. So the retreat is a retreat center in Scottsboro, Alabama. It is called the Grand Oak Retreat. It is a private retreat center, but the lady that owns it runs it kind of like a quilt retreat / bed and breakfast. So she cooks brunch for you and dinner for you every day. And then you guys have full use of the downstairs area with 4 bedrooms that each have their own bathroom, and then the crafting area and a little kitchenette. And then you have access, of course, to the balcony to do some hand stitching outside. They're telling on you. Joan is saying, Becca, Mary's throwing your fabric on the floor.
I am. Because I got to go through and make sure it's all organized by color collection.
Donna said Joe is still in the hospital, but he's doing better tonight. Thanks for letting us know. If you guys are the prayer type, I am sure that your prayers would be very much appreciated. Zaza says, Mary, do you want to come to Scotland? I need her to organize my room.
I've always wanted to go to Scotland. All I require is that somebody pay my way there and give me a place to stay, feed me.
And lots of Diet Mountain Dews.
And lots of Diet Mountain Dews. That's my payment. Scotland is one of those places I've always wanted to go. I went to Ireland, but I've never been to Scotland.
You better be careful. You're going to have tickets showing up in your mailbox.
I know. And when I retire, I can do that full time. But I have to reserve space for Becca.
Not if you're traveling all around the world, dusting everybody's houses.
You want to come travel with me?
I can't. I got to work.
You can be my assistant.
Oh, well, thank you. I don't think you can afford me.
Oh, gosh.
Donna said, Mary, grab the blue shelf. You have my address.
I've been told I'm not allowed to disperse this fabric to anyone, including myself.
She's already tried. She's already tried tonight.
I tried to get some fabric that goes with my fabric that she bought me.
All right.
No, she's not turning it over. It's okay. I know where she lives.
You know where she lives. Mary, their new Bernina Liberty. What are your thoughts?
New Bernina Liberty.
Bernina came out with a Liberty edition.
Oh, I didn't know that. I'm saving my money for the $9.90.
By the time she buys it, they'll have a $9.91.
Yeah, you know they already have a $7.90 plus. I think it's an Ultra or something like that. But I want the $9.90.
I watched a documentary about sewing machines. And it was actually about, I think it was about Singer. It wasn't about sewing machines. It was about the Singer company. Yeah. And they shot themselves in the foot because they Singer brought sewing machines, if I can remember correctly, brought sewing machines to the masses, made them affordable, an affordable appliance so everybody could buy them, but built them to last. And so people would buy one for their home and pass it down for generations. Yeah. And so eventually they didn't have anything to sell.
That's why they start making crappy ones. Because Singer the qualities of the singers these days are not the same as the quality of the singers of the yesteryear.
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 But that's what Bernine is doing.
I know, but I love my Bernina.
But you don't need a new one because you've got one that's going to run for
Shush!
35 years.
I don't need it. Of course, I don't need it, but I want it. There is a difference.
I know there's a difference. All right. So this is what I've got now. It's got the hatchy thing going. So
Edgy thing.
yeah, it's doing the right thing now. I'll set this aside because I'm going to put that one on next. I'm going to bring in one of these. So this here. All right.
This is nice. I'm surprised you have this one because it's brown.
It's not brown. It's like a black. It's part of the same line. It's part of the Nightshade
I
line.
knew.
It's a blender.
I knew. Some of these lines look so much alike, it's hard to tell which one is which.
Free Spirit said collecting sewing machines is like collecting fabric stash.
Of course. You gotta have one to sit in your living room.
Listen, it is not. I have toyed with the idea of taking my table for my featherweight and setting it up in the family room so I can sew while I'm watching TV.
I've considered that too, because I could put it in my living room and get buy a little chair from my desk where I work.
Yep.
And just sit there and watch TV and work on my sewing machine.
You should set it up out there.
I should, because I don't like going back into my room because I'm up back there all by myself.
I would set it up in the front room, especially because you live alone.
I know.
You can use that snack bar as an area to cut and press.
That's true. Except for I have to move my chairs out of the way.
I would move the chairs out of the way. How often do you sit at that?
I paid a lot of money for those chairs.
Well, you can slide them down.
That's true. But my mom and my sister said, "You didn't buy a dining room table." I said, "That's what the chairs are for."
Your piano's in the way of where a table would go.
I know. The piano got precedence over any dead or
Have you played the piano at all?
I do play every once in a while. I tinkle with it. Love my piano.
She doesn't play piano. She wants to learn.
I took lessons.
You don't.
I know how to play. I just don't. I'm not good at it, and so I don't play very much. I don't want to disturb the neighborhood.
Mary, when I sat with you, you didn't know where middle C was.
Did you know where middle C is? I took music theory. I know where middle C is. Don't tell lies on me. She's telling fibs on me.
Oh boy.
Get you. That fabric's annoying.
She has a baby grand piano. It is her prized.
Electronic.
It is her prized possession.
It is. I love that thing. And ever since I was a little girl, I always wanted a. Well, I don't know that they had baby grands when I was little, but ever since they had baby grands came out, I always wanted one. I love music, any kind of music. Just about any kind of music. I love the sound of the piano. I love the sound of guitar. And I can sit and play. I know enough notes to fiddle.
She tinkers. She doesn't.
I tinker.
You don't play with two hands. You play
No,
melodies
I don't.
with one hand.
Well, I can play with 2 hands.
Really?
Yeah, heart and soul. I can play heart and soul.
Can you read music and play two hands?
I can read music.
Piano music?
Yes.
Oh.
I think I took music theory in high school.
Well, yes, music theory is one thing, but being able to proficiently read music and play.
I know what a quarter note is, and I know what a half note is.
And you can read the treble clef and the bass clef at the same time?
Yes.
Okay.
I just can't, my fingers are just not coordinated enough to do both hands at one time. I can play simple songs, like I can play Mary Had a Little Lamb very easily. Shut up. Don't laugh at me.
Somebody in the chat said, LOL, Mary, it's like I drove a stick shift once and now I'm a pro.
Oh, shut up. I never said I was a pro. But I can play. It's not like I don't know the notes. Goodness sakes. People giving me a hard time tonight. I'm not coming back anymore.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. The only reason why I'm prodding you is because I'm remembering a conversation that we had where you said, I got this and I want to teach myself to play piano.
I have all kinds of books to teach myself.
So if you want to teach yourself to play, then
I do want to teach
I'm having
myself
a hard time understanding
because
teach myself to play versus I know how to play.
I never got beyond beginner piano. I took lessons and stuff. I just never got beyond the, like,
So
I never
you're
got
not
to playing 2 hands.
You're not a pianist.
I'm not a pianist. No, I'm
A
not.
pianist.
It's a pianist. It's not a pianist. Whatever you said. It's a pianist.
Oh my gosh, you kill me. You drove a stick shift once.
I never drove a stick shift.
Really?
I never learned how to do that.
Really?
No, really, I never learned.
Huh.
Nope. I never.
Oh!
What?
They
What?
said sell your piano and buy the 990.
No.
You get more use out of the 990.
No, the piano stays.
I don't think you can get enough money for the 990.
I'm gonna be buried with my piano. I'm taking it with me.
I don't know. They're saying you can sell it and get a 990, Mary.
I probably could. No, that piano's not worth $20,000. I already paid like $8,000 for that piano used.
Well, when you tell them that you learned on it and you played it proficiently, then maybe that'll up the price out value.
I can play the piano. I don't play it well, but I can play like simple tunes. I can play Amazing Grace.
With both hands?
Not with both hands.
So here's the
I
thing.
can do the treble clef.
I will gently tell you that I used to say the same thing.
Oh, you did?
Uh-huh. Because I can read bass clef. I can read treble clef. I can play melody with one hand, but I can't do the chords and the other thing.
That's me.
I can a little bit if I practice, and I did take piano lessons for a little while, as an adult actually.
Yeah.
And I was told, because you're not using the pedals and you're not using both hands on the,
that you're really not.
you're not playing the piano.
Oh,
you're
please.
tinkering with it.
Oh, please.
That's what I was told by a musician.
That's not true.
Okay, you guys, was that a lie? You guys tell me.
They lied to you.
Mary said, oh, please, they lied.
I got an A in my piano classes in college. The only reason I didn't learn to play better was because I dropped piano and took voice lessons all 4 years.
So you took intro to piano and now you're an expert?
No, I never said I was an expert. Did you hear me say I was an expert?
I
said I can play the piano. I can play a tune or a couple of tunes on the piano. I'm not an expert. I'm not a professional. I'm not even a pianist. But I can play the freaking piano. Don't you shake your head. Boy, you're in trouble now, girl.
I would change the teacher if they said that to me, Carol said. Okay, they're siding with you. They're saying the piano police are rough.
The piano police are wrong. That's discouraging. They should not say that to somebody who's learning to play.
Okay, so it wasn't a teacher that told me that.
Okay. Well, who told you?
So, and
Because
kids.
I'm gonna go beat the hell out.
Well, I couldn't tell you who it was now because it's been a long time, but it was I was at church camp, and they had a piano in the dining hall, and I went over and started just like tinkering out a tune with it, right? Because I had always had a fascination with piano, and I wanted to play, and I knew how to tinker out a couple of melodies by heart. I could read sheet music because I was in band and I was taking I did all that other stuff, but I never learned the right positions and how to play the piano the way you ought to play it.
See, that's me.
And so a kid about my age, I was probably about 11 or 12, came up to me and was like, "Oh, do you know how to play piano?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "Show me." I was like, "Oh, okay." He's like, well, "How do you hold your finger?" He must have been taking piano lessons. That's all I can think about. All I remember is he at the end of our interaction, whatever it was like, he was like, "No, you don't know how to play piano."
He was a mean boy.
He was a mean boy.
A mean boy.
That has
That's
scarred me
not
for the rest of
nice
my
of
life, and now I'm paying that forward to you. You're welcome.
Oh, golly dang. Not know how to play.
Kids are cruel.
I know, that's just mean.
It is. Because of him, I am not a world famous pianist. I could have been, but he was mean to me.
He discouraged you.
He stole my joy.
scarred you for life.
He did. He
That's
stole
not
my joy.
nice.
It was not nice.
See?
It's all his fault. I'm a failure in life.
And you were trying to push that down to me.
I was.
You were.
I was.
That's not nice.
Oh, it was so nice.
That's not nice.
It was really nice.
Okay, there's another line works I saw. Now where is it?
I don't know. It was Stinky Butt.
Hey, what?
It's the name of the line.
Stinky butt?
That's the name of the print. Yeah, it's a skunk.
Oh. I think this one's called line. This one's from the line.
Folks in the chat are definitely saying that you can't get enough money for the $9.90 for your piano.
No, I cannot.
That's sad. The $9.90 costs more than a piano.
Shoot, the $9.90 costs more than some cars.
That's true. Piano is for your pleasure, Jean says, and all attempts is just fine. I play for me.
That's right.
That's right.
I loved like I collect piano music because there's some songs that I would like to learn how to play on the piano.
Mm-hmm.
And I have little books and stuff of favorite hymns, and I even have Tom Petty.
Of course you have Tom Petty.
And I enjoy that.
But
And I might not be able to play it like Ben Montez, the pianist, can play, but I can play. I can peck it out.
You know what? Pecking it out is a whole thing.
That's right.
I can peck out a tune on a piano real easy.
Yep.
This is my last seam for the center of the quilt, and then all I have to do are the borders, which I am going to do over the weekend.
Oh.
And the borders won't take any time, but it won't be happening tonight. Because I will want to do borders the way Mary wants you to do borders, which means I'm going to have to take some measurements and then piece my borders and then cut them down to the right size and do a lot of pinning and stuff. So I know if I try to do borders tonight, I will just want to lob them on, and I would like to take my time and do them right so I can make sure that my quilt is square a little bit more. And so I'm going to do it with a fresh mind tomorrow morning over a cup of coffee. I'll sit down. Yeah, I'll sit down, I'll watch Sean's live stream, and I'll drink a cup of coffee and put the borders on my quilt. And then maybe I can get it on the long arm this weekend too.
That would be so cool.
It would be. If I could get it to stop disconnecting the motor. I texted the technician to see if he could come out and take a look at it. Yeah. I replaced the cord and it's still doing stupid stuff. If I don't hear back from him by tomorrow, I'll give him a call and see when he can come out. All right, there we go. Are you ready to see what this looks like?
Yep.
Me too.
Oh, it's this way.
Ooh.
Oh, be careful. Don't fall.
Oh, be careful.
Careful, don't fall. Don't step
There
on
we
the
go. What do we think? It's kind of hard to see because the colors are so, there we go. You can see it a little bit more.
Oh, I love that.
Do you see the weave
I do.
style? Here, I'm going to hang it up and then I'll go
love
step
that.
back and look.
Yep, put it up on the little clip. There you go.
And then I'll move my chair out of the way so they can look at it too.
I love that.
Oh, I guess they can see it if I just turn the chair this way. Let me just take a step back. Oh yeah, okay. These fabrics here are very similar in value, so it's a subtle kind of weave, but this pops out real nice.
Yeah, that blue. It's pretty. I love those fabrics when I saw them.
I knew I wanted the diagonal stripe to be the squares when I was looking at the design, because I wanted the stripes to always go the same way.
I'm surprised you didn't make the stripes the binding.
Well, I still can.
Oh, you still can?
Yeah. Well, it says to use this fabric for the binding, so that's what I cut.
Yeah.
But I might change that out. We'll see.
I like it.
Because I have more stripe. Like,
Oh, you do.
that would be cute. All right. So that's my 3-yard quilt. If I had more fabric, I could make it bigger, but this is just going to be a lap size quilt. What do you guys think?
Love it.
Yeah.
I love it so much, I think I'm going to take it home with me.
You might be able to.
Okay.
I just got to put the borders on and get it on the quilt.
That's so pretty.
You can quilt this on your verbena.
I can put it yeah.
All right, friends. Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. I had a blast. Mary, did you have an okay time?
I had a blast too. Even though I was picked on some.
Thank you for hanging out with us, friends. I will be live next week on Friday night at 8 o'clock, and I'll be working with a layer cake. Don't know what I'm going to do yet, so tune in and find out. Other than that, say bye to Mary, because next week she'll be in South Carolina.
Bye. I'm leaving. I'm going to home.
I'll see you guys all later. Bye, friends.